And you'll see how this guy is a colossal fraud. Wow. Elon Musk is like a socially maladjusted, autistic weirdo with incredible PR that he's used his whole career to try to convince everybody he's a genius and he's amazing at business, when in reality, it's all a fucking, like, it's literally all a myth. He didn't even found Tesla. Everybody thinks, like, yeah, this guy was a founder of Tesla. No, he wasn't. He fucking...
All right, so before I go into anything, right, number one, I want to say I have not done any research on Elon Musk, so I don't know, I don't know what's true and what's not true, so I'll leave that to Kyle. This is Kyle Kulinski, but we're not talking about Elon Musk necessarily in this video. He's more discussing that Joe Rogan's friends are getting fed up with Joe Rogan over Elon Musk. But I don't even think that to be true. Thought this was kind of interesting to see. I mean, obviously, I get it. Kyle Kulinski's on the left. Everybody's going to start, but he's a leftist. Like, okay. But what is that? It doesn't have anything to do with the conversation at hand at this moment. We're not talking about trans people, nobody even talks about that anymore, by the way. Anyway, this is supposed to be Andrew Schulz, Tim Dillon, getting annoyed with Joe Rogan over Elon Musk. So Andrew Schulz and Tim Dillon apparently they're pretty much having enough of Elon Musk. They're having enough of Joe Rogan. So let's go ahead and get into it. And I think this is like a fan-made type of video that he's looking at. They put clips together.
Gonna fucking save the world. All right, so here we go. Let's dive into it, and we'll break it down as we go.
Of the rich people that I've seen in my life or have met, the tech people are by far the creepiest.
Absolutely.
And their intentions are by far the worst. I don't think they care, not only about America, I don't think they're fans of humanity.
Totally.
You shouldn't get so crazy rich that you go, how do I terraform another planet? It just shows you the emptiness of money, which life is not about having lots of money. What Elon has done, I think, has exposed that there is no amount of money, no amount of money that you can give a human being where they won't Heil Hitler for kids.
All right, so it looks like some of Joe Rogan's.
And so I don't think it's even the Heil Hitler that's like, oh God, let me not say it again, that really got on their nerves. And I also don't think like this whole give a certain amount of money type of thing, like there's no amount of money kind of thing. Like, I don't think it's, I don't think that's the point to make. I just don't. But let's keep getting into it.
His closest comedy friends have been trashing Elon Musk, which I'm sure is making Joe really uncomfortable because obviously he's like one of the biggest Elon simps out there. And now a big part of his podcast is him just doing damage control and PR for Elon. But, even with all the glazing and ass kissing Joe does, it's still not enough for Elon. And I'm sure he gets annoyed that Joe doesn't tell his friends to stop making fun of him. Like, Joe's got to be nervous about his comedy friends.
Elon does seem like one of those guys, right? Where he would like send Rogan a clip of Tim Dillon mocking him and be like, why can't you talk to him? He needs to stop. This is.
Yeah, I don't want to even say that. But I just want to look at a couple of Tim Dillon's parts on, clips on this. Because Kyle takes it too far. Then I also want to look at this clip with Tim Dillon and Joe Rogan making fun of Douglas Murray. So there's more to the episode than this.
And even though I don't think that really worked either. But Joe obviously knows Elon doesn't handle getting made fun of very well. I mean, Joe was just on Kill Tony, and they had on Kyle Dunnigan, who was impersonating Elon. And Joe looked like he was thinking, man, I hope Elon doesn't get offended by this. Because I'm sure Elon's already constantly coping over Tim Dillon making fun of him. I mean, Tim's been trashing him like crazy, which Joe has to be stressed about.
Look, the thing about Elon is he's literally the world's richest man. He's illegally hacking into our government and stealing everybody's data and destroying every good thing our government does. Right, destroying the Social Security program. He destroyed the CFPB, which is the anti-scam police, which means he's siding with the scammers over the American people. And he also wants to live on Mars and put a chip in everybody's brain. This is like, if you took away all the fucking PR and the marketing that Elon does for himself and the fanboys, this would look like a prime Alex Jones conspiracy thing where he points out how this guy wants to take over the world and he's the most evil man on the fucking planet. He's like
but this is still not necessarily a point to make, so we're still going to move on from Kyle.
Problem with these people, what kind of truck would Blade Runner drive? I mean, we're just handing the whole entire world over to like fucking nerds and freaks. First of all, the Cybertruck's disgusting. We can all kind of admit that. It's a heinous...
Yes, it is. Thank you, Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon has to do a lot in my mind to make up for...
And also, he's a guy that believes that we have to go to Mars and merge with AI and no longer be humans. And no one seems to question that. I don't think populism, as has been described, includes merging with machines and going to Mars. You're not, if this isn't a movie where the movie ends with Elon putting you on his spaceship and going to Mars, you're not going to Mars. I'm sorry about that. These people are also the elites, which if people talk about the elites, and I talk about it myself. Because the elites are completely out of touch, but these elites are also out of touch. It's also out of touch to think that the biggest issue is let's go to Mars. Go talk to a working family that can't put food on the table. See how many times they mention Mars. I don't know why it's happening. And I disagree with close friends of mine who think Elon Musk is, the savior of, this is Jesus. If Jesus came back, he'd be Elon Musk. He'd come through South Africa and design cars that don't need gas and buy X. The guy's a billionaire who wants to go to Mars, and normal people are going, what the fuck is this? I can't get a knee operation.
God damn.
That is such a good answer, though. That really is. It's really Tim Dillon who gives a lot more of the pushback. But I see, there we go. All right, I want to get to the Andrew Schulz part, and then I want to look at Tim Dillon and Joe Rogan making fun of Douglas Murray.
God, it's so fucking brainless. It's so brainless.
That's what this is.
Yes.
So you got to go, hey, that looks a lot like some Nazi shit. I'm not going to lie. I should probably not do that in the future. Got a little too excited.
Everyone is Hitler attack is so tired.
Yeah, that's no. It's not everyone's Hitler. It's the guy that in front of the crowd. You stop gaslighting him. This is what Democrats do. Now you become the Democrats.
And I bet you
See, they're all right-leaning, and you could see there, like, oh, see, that's almost as bad as the Democrats. Really? Is it? And then what they do is they take a picture of, like, AOC or Tim Walz with their hand up, and there's a reason why they're showing the picture and not the fucking video. Because the video would show clearly AOC and Tim Walz and Bernie, all these people, they never did a fucking Nazi salute. But Elon Musk did. And look at his fucking history.
So I'm not going to go into that Nazi salute thing because, again, it's just like, first of all, the fact that like that people are still worked up about this is just really out of line to me. So I don't know. I really don't know what is the point of this, you know?
By the way, how is he in all these wars? Can I just go to wars? By the way, how are you allowed? Are you allowed to just go to wars? Is that the way
you should at least
can you just
have the
go to
courtesy of going?
Can I just go to wars, or do I have to come back and say what people want me to say about the wars? Can I go to the wars and have my own opinions, or do I have to have the opinions?
Not if you want to go back.
That's right. That's right. It's very interesting, this war tourism. How do I get on this war tourism?
Yeah.
I'd like to go to the Ukraine. I want to go. I want to go. I want to go to all this war tourism.
Do you have any awards that they can melt down and make bullets out of?
Joe, think about this. Do I seem like a guy that has a lot of awards?
Didn't you get one of those YouTube plaques when you hit 100,000?
I don't even know where they send it. I don't know where. I don't know where they're sending those YouTube plaques.
We've got a few of those.
But I like this idea of war tourism. I like the idea of going to a war and then coming back, having a very black and white view.
Yes, I've been there.
I get it, and I know, and interesting. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I love that.
You feel.
And this kind of roasting is necessary because they're talking about Douglas Murray, who was telling Dave Smith again, you know, what do you know about these wars that have happened over in other countries? You know, what do you mean we are going to war? You're not the soldier. Why are you talking about it? Like, Douglas Murray is so annoying, so pretentious. Now, the point of all of a sudden, you know, Joe Rogan's friends are turning on him because of Elon Musk is very much it's a reach, definitely a reach. Nobody's turned on anybody because Tim Dillon was literally just on the show. I think, what was this, Friday or something? He was just on the show. So, you know, this is not, it's a total reach, but they're annoyed with Elon. So, but now if you think like, oh, because Tim Dillon is saying stuff about Elon, it must upset Joe Rogan. Now you're adding your own 2 cents into it, and it's just ridiculous. But let's hear a little bit more because they'll explain Douglas Murray's position too on why he says this is what war tourism is.
Better than the other people.
Well, of course, there's a lot of people. It gets very murky. Most people I know that have been to war have a very murky, complex view of things. But it is good to go to a war and then come back and be as sure as you were before you came.
You don't have to go for very long.
No, you go for an hour.
Couple hours.
It's a lunch.
Yeah.
It's lunch on
Put
the
on
front
a
line.
flak jacket that says press.
Whew, that's rough there, Ryan. For Douglas, if for anybody who doesn't get the photo reference, let's put that one on the screen. Our producer Griffin's been dying to show everybody this photo for quite some time now. This is the chair where Sinwar was killed by an Israeli drone, and as you can see, Douglas there on an IDF-sponsored tour with his big press flak jacket, not really in danger because again he's on a IDF military-sponsored thing. Tim actually made the best point, and that's something that I immediately texted Dave about, is I was like, dude, he keeps saying you've never been there. The only reason he gets to go is because he's a pro-war propagandist, and so the government is allowing him to go.
Exactly, and that's the point. So, again, this is why people like this should not be even entertained, because your biases, you're a propagandist. Are you serious? So now we have the nuance why we entertain propagandists? That makes no sense. But yeah, again, I go back to it, the whole notion of, Joe Rogan's friends are now turning on him because of Elon Musk. There's no story there. As far as I'm concerned, we looked at it, we see it. Everybody's moved on. Everybody's moved on from Elon too. You'll see. You're not hearing much about him, right? So that's probably was even the point of why people are making these kind of episodes in the first place. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.